The hormonal shift after 60. Why your body feels different even when nothing has changed. There comes a point after 60 when many people start saying the same thing. I swear I'm doing the same things I used to do, but my body feels different. The same meals do not seem to land the same way. The same amount of sleep does not restore you the same way. The same walk feels a little harder. The same workout seems to give you less back. The same effort no longer creates the same result. And that can feel confusing, because from the outside, it may look like nothing has changed. But inside the body, something has. The hormonal environment is shifting, not all at once, not in one dramatic moment, but steadily enough that the body begins to feel different even when your routines have not changed very much. And this is one of the most misunderstood parts of aging. People often think hormones are only about reproduction, or they think hormones only matter in menopause, or they imagine hormones as some vague explanation people use when they cannot figure out what else to blame. But hormones are not vague at all. They are chemical messengers that help regulate metabolism, muscle maintenance, fat distribution, bone turnover, sleep, stress response, appetite, blood sugar, and even how well you recover from effort. As we age, several hormonal systems shift at the same time, including the ovarian or testicular axis, growth hormone signaling, adrenal signaling, thyroid regulation, and insulin action. That is one reason aging can feel like a whole body change rather than a single symptom. So if your body feels different after 60, even though your habits have not changed much, that feeling is not imaginary. There is biology underneath it. For women, one of the biggest shifts is the long after effect of menopause. Menopause is not simply the end of periods. It reflects ovarian aging and a major drop in estradiol and inhibin, with a corresponding rise in follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Natural menopause most often occurs around age 51, but the physiologic effects continue well beyond that transition. And that drop in estrogen matters far beyond hot flashes. Estrogen has effects on the brain, sleep, body fat distribution, bones, muscles, blood vessels, and metabolic regulation. Declining estradiol has been associated with changes in sleep, mood, cognition, and body composition. That is one reason some women after 60 notice that the body they are living in no longer responds like the body they had at 45. Fat may gather more easily around the abdomen. Recovery may feel slower. Sleep may become lighter or more fragmented. Muscle may be harder to maintain. Joint discomfort may feel louder. Energy may feel less stable. And importantly, this is not just about getting older in a general sense. Menopause-related research shows that body composition changes unfavorably around the final menstrual period, with fat gain accelerating and lean mass loss increasing in the years around that transition. Studies from SWAN and related work also show more central and visceral fat accumulation as estrogen declines. That means a woman can weigh roughly the same and still have a different body composition. That part messes with people, because the scale may not tell the full story. But under the surface, fat mass may be rising while lean mass is slipping. And that shift matters metabolically. Visceral fat is more hormonally active than many people realize. It is associated with worsened cardiometabolic risk, and menopause-related abdominal fat gain has been linked with reduced insulin sensitivity and other metabolic changes. For men, the story is different, but there is still a hormonal drift. Testosterone does not usually fall off a cliff the way estrogen does at menopause. But in many men, testosterone declines gradually with age because of changes across the hypothalamic-pituitary-testicular axis, including reduced testicular production and altered signaling. That slower decline can still matter. Lower testosterone in older men has been associated with reduced lean mass, lower bone strength, lower muscle strength, and aspects of frailty and reduced sexual function, though the relationship is not perfectly simple, and not every symptom in older men is caused by testosterone. So for many men after 60, the experience is not dramatic hormone chaos. It is subtler than that. You may notice slightly less drive, slightly less muscle reserve, slightly more abdominal fat, slightly slower recovery, slightly less resilience under stress. And because it happens gradually, people often do not realize a hormonal shift is part of what they are feeling. Then there is another system almost everyone forgets about: growth hormone, and IGF-1 signaling. These hormones help regulate tissue maintenance, protein metabolism, and body composition. With aging, growth hormone secretion declines substantially, and that reduction is associated with changes in lean mass, fat mass, and physical function. This matters because people often say, "I'm still exercising, but it doesn't seem to do as much." Part of that may be training quality or recovery, but part of it is also that the anabolic environment is different. The body does not build, repair, and partition energy in exactly the same way it once did. So yes, the same workout can give a smaller return if sleep is worse, protein is lower, hormones are lower, and recovery is slower. That is not failure, that is physiology. Insulin also becomes part of this story. As people age, insulin sensitivity often worsens, especially when muscle mass declines, visceral fat rises, and physical activity drops. Hormonal aging reviews consistently note that age-related hormonal shifts interact with metabolism and raise the risk of chronic disease. This is one reason many adults after 60 say, "I'm eating the same way I always did, but I gain weight more easily now." Again, not imaginary. If muscle mass is lower, insulin sensitivity is lower, sleep is poorer, and abdominal fat is rising, the metabolic context has changed. So the same food environment can now create a different result. Then we come to sleep. This is where hormones and daily life crash into each other. During the menopausal transition and afterward, sleep complaints become more common. SWAN data and reviews of menopausal sleep show that sleep problems increase through the menopause transition and can remain common in postmenopausal women, including more difficulty falling asleep, more waking after sleep onset, and more fragmented sleep. Why does that matter? Because poor sleep then worsens everything else. It worsens appetite regulation. It worsens insulin sensitivity. It worsens mood. It worsens pain perception. It worsens recovery from exercise. So sometimes when people think they have a motivation problem after 60, what they actually have is a hormonal sleep metabolic loop. They are more tired because sleep changed. They move less because they are more tired. They lose more muscle because they move less. They gain more fat because muscle and insulin sensitivity are changing. Then the body feels even harder to live in. That loop is real, and it can happen in men too, though the hormonal drivers are often somewhat different. Cortisol is another piece of the puzzle, though this is often oversold online. Cortisol is not bad. It is a necessary hormone involved in waking, energy mobilization, and stress response. But aging changes adrenal regulation and the broader stress response system, and chronic stress or sleep disruption can make that system feel less stable. Endocrine aging reviews describe changes in multiple hormonal axes, including adrenal pathways, even when those changes do not always fit simple social media narratives. That means after 60, some people feel less stress resilient, even if their life circumstances have not become more dramatic. The system is simply less forgiving. And this brings us to the most important point of all. The hormonal shift after 60 is real, but it is not a sentence. It does not mean your body is broken. It means your body now requires a more intelligent strategy. Because while you cannot fully stop hormonal aging, you can influence how well the body functions inside that new environment. Resistance training helps preserve muscle and strength in older adults, and muscle preservation becomes more important as anabolic hormones decline. Physical activity also improves insulin sensitivity and supports metabolic health. Protein becomes more important, not less, because maintaining lean mass gets harder in older age. Sleep becomes more important because recovery becomes less automatic. Consistent movement becomes more important because inactivity accelerates the very body composition and metabolic shifts people are already fighting. And this is where people often make the wrong move. They blame themselves for not responding the way they used to. They say, "I've become lazy, I've lost discipline, I must be doing something wrong." Maybe. But often that is not the main story. Often the deeper truth is this: your body is operating under a different hormonal climate now, and a different climate requires different tactics. More strength work, more protein awareness, more recovery, better sleep protection, less chasing extremes, more respect for consistency. Not because you are fragile, because the margin for error is smaller now. That is wisdom, not defeat. And there is one more thing worth saying plainly. Not every symptom after 60 should be blamed on just hormones. Sometimes thyroid disease, sleep apnea, depression, medication effects, anemia, diabetes, or other treatable conditions are involved. One of the key messages from the Endocrine Society's scientific statement is to distinguish normal endocrine aging from disease. That matters, because people deserve honesty. Yes, hormonal shifts are real. Yes, they help explain why the body feels different. But no, they should not be used as a lazy explanation for everything. So here is the clean truth. After 60, your body may feel different, even when your lifestyle looks similar, because the internal hormonal environment is not the same as it was before. In women, the after effects of estrogen loss reshape sleep, body composition, bone, and metabolism. In men, testosterone often declines more gradually, but still affects muscle, bone, and function. Across both sexes, growth hormone signaling, insulin action, stress biology, and recovery also change with age. That is why the body can feel more sensitive, more effortful, less forgiving. But that is not the end of the story. Because even in a changed hormonal environment, the body still responds to training, nourishment, sleep, and structure. Not like it did at 25, but still meaningfully. And maybe that is the better message after 60. Not, my body betrayed me, but, my body changed. Now I have to work with it differently. That is not weakness. That is mature physiology. That is reality. And handled well, it can become wisdom. And in the next episode, we're going to explore something just as important: how to stay mentally sharp in a changing world after 60. Because the world is changing fast. Technology is changing. Daily life is changing. But the aging brain is not helpless. And staying mentally sharp is not about keeping up with everything. It is about understanding what the brain needs now and how to protect clarity, focus, and confidence in a world that keeps getting louder. Until next time, stay steady, stay informed, and stay re-inspired.
I hope this video brought you value and re-inspired you. If so, please subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. And if anybody you know could use a little re-inspiration, please send it to them. Thank you so much for watching.